Ek is meneer Singh, Afrikaans onderwyser by Stonebridge Primêre Skool. 'n Kind op die sportveld is 'n kind uit die hof, is 'n kind uit die tronk. Sport leer ons dissipline, sport leer ons hoe om onsself te handhaaf en sport maak ons 'n beter persoon. En kortliks gesê, ja, ons het 'n tekortkoming in resources, maar ons glo dat as ons die passie het as onderwysers en as ons die passie het as gemeenskap, sal ons baie beter kan doen en baie beter leerders en baie beter gemeenskap kan bou vir die toekoms. Oefening, liggaamlike oefening, leer ons die dissipline wat ons nodig het. 'n Healthy mind en 'n healthy body, dit gaan saam. Jy kan nie net 'n healthy mind hê, maar dan het jy nie 'n healthy body. Ek het meneer Henderson omtrent 1998 ontmoet. Hy was my wiskundeonderwyser. Meneer Henderson was 'n baie passievolle persoon. Meneer Henderson het alles wat hy gedoen het, het hy tot die beste van sy vermoë gedoen. Meneer Henderson was baie passievol oor sports. Ek kan amper sê single-handedly die sports gehanteer by Stonebridge. Hy was involved in alles. Of jy nou gesê het is cricket of sokker of hoogspring, meneer Henderson was hands-on met al hierdie dinge gewees. Meneer Henderson was baie passievol oor wat hy gedoen het. Hy het ons ook 'n baie goeie les geleer dat jy moet altyd die blinkkant bo hou. So sommige kere het ons uitgegaan en dan het ons nie so goed gedoen nie, maar as ons terugkom en sing ons en ons celebrate asof ons baie goed gedoen het. Maar ons het altyd die volgende keer beter gedoen en ons het altyd verbeter op alles wat ons doen. Meneer Henderson was baie passievol en hy hou nie van verloor nie. As 'n onderwyser, hy was 'n baie streng persoon. So ja, ek het geleer van hom af dat jy moet streng wees, jy moet jou voet kan neersit, maar tog ook die liefde het en ook die passie het. Ons het mos nou 'n nuwe minister van sports, wat ook net so passievol is soos meneer Henderson. So ek sal daarvan hou as 'n tournament soos die kan gaan tot op 'n level waar ons minister van sports bewus is van mense soos meneer Henderson en al die ander oorledenes. Alhoewel ons nie by die skole was nie, weet ons tog wat was die impak wat hierdie menere gemaak het in die sports in Edenpark. So aangesien die minister van sport sê ons moet sport terugbring in die skole in, dink ek net 'n tournament soos die sal definitief die spotlight bring wat dit moet wees. Kyk, ons weet daar is amper niks. Die resources is baie limited. As jy so kyk na ons sportsveld, kan jy sommer sien dat die baie dinge wat ons verlang as 'n skool, wat ons verlang as 'n gemeenskap. Ons is baie bly nou dat ons ten minste 'n pool het in Edenpark. Dit is ons challenges, ons lack resources. Hoe meer resources daar is, hoe beter sal dit kan wees. Ek glo daar is 'n well-trained kind en dan is daar 'n kind met die talent. En 'n kind met talent wat well-trained is 'n champion.
My naam is Vanolia Adams. Ek ken van meneer Henderson deur sports. Hy was my onderwyser gewees en hy was 'n baie dissiplinêre mens and he was always there for the learners. Always, whatever problem you have, you can go to him, talk to him. He will explain to you how, whatever your situation is, how to get through it and stuff. His doors was always open. Okay, I got to know him from sports in general, from foundation phase up until I left school to go to high school. That's how I got to know him through sports. He was my teacher. He gave me wetenskap. Op die oomblik werk ek by die skool as a general worker, maar ek het begin 10 jaar terug met sports en tot op die uur toe doen ek sports, alle soorte sportscoach. Is my passie, is waar ek die meeste gelukkig is. Sports keep the children away from drugs. They're unfortunate. Those are the only challenges, but sometimes I do work around that as well.
Okay. What are some of the lessons that you learned from him?
Samenwerking en respect. Life lessons, never give up.
Never give up.
Never give up. Always go for your dream.
87 het ek hier begin werk op Stonebridge saam met meneer Henderson. En onmiddellik toe ons hierso kom, meneer Henderson lichamelijke opvoeding aangebied. En van lichamelijke opvoeding het ons die skoolse sport hanteer. Atletiek, sokker en al die ander sportsoorte wat die beoefen was op die skool. Dit ons was daarvoor verantwoordelik. Meneer Henderson se passie was nog alle jare atletiek. Ja nee, baie kinders se lewens verander. Hy het 'n liefde vir kinders gehad. Hy het nie respek afgedwing nie. Hy het dit gekry. Omdat hy die persoon wat hy was. Vir ons wat belangrik was, die deelname van elke kind. My kinders weg te hou van drugs en dwelms en die loitering. Waarmee hulle so slagse goed te aanvang. Dit was ons groot droom aan die einde van die dag. En nog steeds gaan die droom bly van enige onderwyser, enige ouer. Dat sy kind moet besig wees met konstruktiewe aktiwiteite. En een van die aktiwiteite waarmee ons besig was die sport. Laerskoolvlak begin ons om die fondasies vas te lê vir die kind om te ontwikkel. Dan moet dit oorgaan in die hoërskool waar hy verder ontwikkel word. Die ketting word gebreek en dan daar begin dit waar ons kinders dan uit die bus uitval. En dan moet ons maar kom kyk, al die verkeerde goede word gedoen. En ongelukkig, dit is die hartseer storie. Wat daar nu in lopend is in onze gemeenskap. Sport is nie net, sport is as jy sport in geheel vat. Dit maak 'n mens, dit bou jou. En wat jy leer op die sportveld kan jy net so oordra in jou klaskamer, in jou skoolwerke.
My naam is Brian Phillips. Ek is onderwyser by Edenpark Primêre Skool vir die afgelope 14 jaar. Ek onderrig op die oomblik ekonomiese bestuurswetenskappe en lewensoriëntering vir graad 7's. Ek is deel van die sportgroep sedert ons begin het by die skool. Meneer Pietersen vir my was, soos ek gesê het, 'n legende. Dis een woord gesê, 'n legende. Is 'n persoon met integriteit, 'n persoon wie baie goeie administrateur wees, hy's gefokus en dit was ook 'n persoon wat ons gehelp het om altyd ons sport op dreef te hou. Sport is een van die dinge wat kinders baie gou aangryp. Dit gaan ons help in ons gemeenskap om ons kinders meer gefokus te hou op ons skoolwerk deur in sport betrokke te wees. As ons almal kan aangryp aan sport, gaan ons gemeenskap kan verbreed. Dit gaan ook help om kinders te help wat nie die voorreg het om in sport deel te neem nie. En dit help ook met groei in ons gemeenskap, sodat kinders gefokus kan bly en elke keer probeer om die regte ding te doen. Die uitdagings wat ons ondervind as 'n gemeenskap. Die eerste enetjie is 'n swak toegang tot hulpbronne en fasiliteite. Ons tweede een sal ook wees dat ouer betrokkenheid. Want ek voel net sodra ouers betrokke is by hulle kinders se lewe, gaan die kinders beter kan presteer. Wat ek graag wil sê is ons hulpbronne is baie swak, ons het amper geen toegang tot hulpbronne nie. Ons kinders is heelwat op straat en ouers is nie heelwat betrokke in hulle lewens nie. Van my kant af sal ek vra dat die gemeenskap meer nader aan mekaar sal kom, ouers meer betrokke in hul kinders se lewe sal word, terwyl die onderwyser ook die parent en loco sal wees om na die kind te kyk. Ons doen ook 'n aansoek aan borge om asseblief van skole te help, nie net Edenpark Primêre alleen nie, al ons omliggende skole te help met borge. Dit sal ook help om die kinders en die ouers se sakke te verlig. Ons kan baie neem van meneer Pietersen, soos ek voorheen gesê het, hy's 'n persoon wat integriteit gehad het, sy passie vir die sport. So om van hom af te kan leer en in die gemeenskap teweeg te bring, sal ook help dat die kinders dan van strate af kan kom en ook meer betrokke word in sport. Ons wil ook dankie sê vir skole wat belang gestel het hierdie keer weer om die sportdag te hê vir meneer Henderson van Stonebridge, meneer Wangra van Opelweg en ook vir meneer Pietersen van Edenpark Primêre vir development, kinders beter mense te maak en môre se leiers te kan wees. Ek wil ook aan die verskillende families sê, baie dankie dat julle daardie manne saam met ons kon deel het.
I'm Kashif Olifant, the principal of Edenpark Primary School. Mr. Pietersen was a very astute administrator. The fond memories that I have about him is that, we would interact and exchange ideas as to how to improve, especially because he was passionate about sports. So how to improve the situation in as far as sports is concerned, how sports can help, certain learners that he had identified as having problems, but seeing that here and there, if this child would maybe engage in sports, maybe there'll be an improvement. I think with what we are doing now, with having this athletics competition with the 3 schools in Edenpark, this is how we are honoring him, because he was so passionate about sports, and it is in his name. We are memorializing his name and 2 other teachers from the other schools. So this is a way that we can remember him and honor him for his contribution, especially to Edenpark Primary School and Edenpark in general. Mr. Pietersen was passionate about sports. He always used to try and use sports to help learners, especially those that are needy. We encourage all our learners to say participate in the sports. So we would also like to appeal to anyone that has the ability to sponsor the school with any kind of resources that they might have at their disposal, be it balls, be it a soccer kit, be it money. We will accept any form of support for resources so that we can enable all our children at school to participate in any sporting activity they want to participate in.
Good day, I am Pauline Cummings. I was a colleague of Mr. Pietersen, and Mr. Pietersen was just a dedicated, committed person, loved sports. Whatever discipline he brought to the class, he brought onto the field. And I am sure that the legacy that he has left, it will last. And like I said, it's still living in us. It's that passion that he left with us to continue with something that cannot die, like I've asked, that sports shouldn't die. Mr. Pietersen, he was very focused and he was particular about most of the things that he had done. And when you worked with him, you also prioritized things, because with Mr. Pietersen it was a yes and a no in-betweens. And especially when it comes to sports, he said children first, it's not about us. And you know, when he planned especially the events of the sports at school, he didn't even mind to do it on his own, because sometimes people let you down. And with him it was like, if I can do it, why not? So I liked to work with him because of that passion he had, and the fact that whatever he had done, it was so meticulous, man. He didn't want anything to be like faulty, in error. He wanted to be excellent. Sport was his all. Sometimes it made it difficult, especially because he was one that prioritized things. And even if I didn't do something correct, he would correct me. He has been an example, led by example. So that's why whatever he said to me, I took it in, because I really took it as an encouragement. Because if he could do that and it changed so much, then there's hope for Edenpark community. The fact that he didn't even just serve the school, because he was even part of the Edenpark Rugby Club. It was like, give hope to the hopeless. Those ones who would normally just be there out on the streets, doing nothing, sitting there, not even thinking of any future. Sports brought that. And I do believe that here in Edenpark, there are so many talented children, people, adults even, that can just put into this community. And whatever they have gone through, that hope, they can still give it through to those children and the community members. When you take part in sport, you know you have to prepare, you have to practice. You cannot just go on a field and expect that miracles must happen. So even in the classroom, that same child who used to be like undisciplined, unruly, because of the fact that he had some discipline there on the field, he knows that certain things are expected of me. I cannot just do whatever I please. I must be in line. And then even for the community at large, if you take that discipline to them, you will find that less of them will be on the streets just doing whatever they please. You find that they will have vision, purpose through sports. Some of the problems we are facing and especially in the communities, lack of motivation, lack of acceptance, lack of love. These children, wherever they go to, they feel like people just label them, and then they live according to that label, and then they end up just sitting there with no vision, no purpose. But we can bring it back to them when we just give the opposite. We give them that acceptance, we give them that love and motivate them. You see, when Mr. Pietersen left the school, you could feel the void. You know, he was one of 3 of our educators who did so much for sport, that the legacy that they left, we wanted to continue with it. We cannot just let it go, because then it means whatever they have put in would be just null and void. So definitely they have placed that passion, that spark in us. We have beautiful teachers that were added to our group, people that also just got this and said to themselves, we want to do this too, joining as a team. So definitely Mr. Pietersen would be proud, would have been proud if he was here. In order for this memorial to happen, the success of the day, we need support, and definitely we need this to continue annually. So without the help of the community, without the support of the community, this will just be another thing that have started and failed. So please, everyone, sports brings life. It's like, I don't know how to put it, but sports is exciting and sport brings unity. So please support this. The lessons learned in sport on the field teach you discipline, unity, teamwork. It's not about you on that field, and in the classroom the same. We shouldn't let sport die. We should not, because honestly I've seen what it has brought into children's lives. This was one specific boy, I keep noticing him. He started playing chess, he started playing, participated in rugby, and that boy, he used to be in trouble like every single day, and he used to be like unruly, didn't know how to speak to anyone. But you must see the change that the sport discipline brought to him. So definitely let sport not die.
Sports is like academics. Basically, you are running, and once you run, everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to be number 1. So once you're number 1, you also get acknowledgement from other learners. You get recognized, and that is one of the things that sports also does for our learners. Learners, they are willing to put in the work. They leave their houses early and they come back home late. So that is one of the things that really helps a child who is in sports to be out of court, because they do not have time to do any other negative things in the streets. Let sports be one of our number 1 things to keep the kids, to keep the community together.
Goedemiddag, mijn naam is juffrouw Sharon Matthijssen. Ik heb begin bij Opelweg in 1995 as a Foundation 5 teacher. Meneer Wangra, hij was een karakter. Hij was die sportsmeester. Maar hij was baie behulpsaam. Die toernooi wat hulle hou, ek dink dit is die beste wat ons kan doen om vir hom te onthou. Ek hou van sport. Ons was altyd in die sport en altyd, soos ek sê, meneer Wangra, nee, hy was altyd daar vir die sport. Maar verlede jaar was dit die beste tyd. Regtig, dit was baie lekker. Ek het die eerste race so onthou, dit was, ek dink dit was die 5,5, 6, die 6-jariges. En hulle het nie die kinders gestop nie. En hy kleintjies het reg rondom gehardloop en dit was so 'n lekker gees vir die kinders en van die onderwysers wat daar gestaan het glad agter hulle gehardloop. Hulle moes hulle amper weer die hele baan seker omgehardloop, maar dit was baie lekker.
I am Ms. Ornelis. I'm one of the sports coordinators at Opelweg Primary School. I believe that sports is important because, great things happen through a series of small steps. And I believe if you fill your mind with positive things, you will attract positive things. So sports is very important. It also helps with the self-esteem when it comes to our learners. It helps them to interact with other learners. It helps them to work in groups as well. So it's very, very important to me. Most of our learners know that sports can take them far because one of our VIP guests that will be attending on Saturday is George Henderson. And he is a product from Opelweg Primary. Sorry to brag, but he's a product from Opelweg Primary and he is part of the Olympics. So of course, I mean, it's a local example. If they are busy with positive things like sports, they will be active in all the right things. Mr. Pietersen was a sports activist. Mr. Pietersen lived for sports. He was like our Mr. Noble. That those teachers will rather be on the field than in class. That's how much they loved sports. And he was doing sports as well. So this whole event that we're having is in commemoration of Mr. Pietersen, Mr. Wangra and Mr. Henderson. So he set an example for me and he encouraged and inspired me positively to also, because I mean he was a bit older and we are a bit younger. So he inspired us, no matter how old you are, you can still make a change. And sports, one of the positive things that it also does, like all our learners are not educationally equipped and everyone is not on the same level. So some of the learners might feel that they are excluded, but when we introduced sports caters for those learners. Parents, when you are there to support your learners, our drummies, our cheerleaders, the rest of the youngsters, you know they perform extra well. So please.
My name is Molebuheng Koloti. I'm a teacher here at Opelweg. I'm teaching grade 1. I'm a sports teacher. I normally do team managing. I do training with learners, our foundation phase, and we are such a hard-working group. Sports can develop a child in so many ways, mentally, physically, in many ways. So that's why we're encouraging them. So that's why I say sports is so important for a social life of a child. A child should not be just an academic learner, but should also thrive to participate in sports.
My name is TC Kambewa. I'm a teacher at Opelweg Primary School. I've been a teacher here for a long time. Yeah, I worked with Mr. Wangra for, I can't remember how many years exactly, but we worked together for a long time. Mr. Wangra is one man who would be the first to arrive in the school and the last to leave. He was so dedicated, you would wonder where he was getting the energy from. Mr. Wangra could play, I don't know how many disciplines of sport. He was a player himself. He was a coach, rugby, soccer, name it. He was talented, very talented to the extent that during his time, we got one award after another in sports. Mr. Wangra left a wealth of knowledge, skill, talent that went on even after his demise. If I would put myself in the shoes of Mr. Wangra, to ask him to comment about what he's seeing today, Mr. Wangra would just smile and say people are doing their best.
My naam is Marianne King. Ek is 'n onderwyser by Opelweg vir die afgelope plus 30 jaar. Meneer Wangra, soos ek hom geken het en hom 'n bynaam gegee het, sy naam was Wankies. Hy het Afrikaans gegee toe hy kom begin het by Opelweg. Hy was ook baie betrokke by die sports, atletiek. Maar ons was baie betrokke by die rugby met die Lions. Die Lions het ons gesponsor en meneer Wangra, meneer Henderson en meneer Pietersen was almal betrokke by ons rugby sowel as die atletiek. Die kinders het hom gerespekteer. As hy goed gedoen het, dan byvoorbeeld as hy vir die kinders 'n opdrag gegee het, veral wat die sports betref, en hy was ons 'n sportsmaster vir 'n hele paar jaar. het die kinders seker gemaak in die oggend vroeg is hulle by die oefening. Sowel as in die middag laat was hulle by die oefening. En ons het eintlik as skool gefloreer onder meneer Wangra se leiding in die atletiek sowel as in die rugby. We humbly appeal to our parents, our community, to support our learners so that we can relive the legacy of Mr. Wangra, Mr. Pietersen and Mr. Henderson.